So the timeline was about 8 a.m. it starts, right? When I wake up, I notice it. And I get to the ER and I'm finally assessed by a doctor, let's say around 1:30. By 8 p.m. that night, I was completely paralyzed up to my shoulders.
Crazy.
That's how quick it took me. And the only thing I could do was move my head back and forth and move my eyes. And so they admit me, obviously, and they're running a series of testing. I mean, MRIs, spinal taps, everything to kind of confirm what his prognosis thought it was. And it did pretty much confirm that what I was experiencing was this rare disease called Guillain-Barre. In bed, and I hear all the bells and whistles going off on my machines, and doctors and nurses come running in, and then I came to, and there is a cardiologist like leaning over me, and he's calling my name, and I wake up, and he's like, honey, he's like, your heart just crashed.
Oh my gosh.
And we're going to need to take you down and put a pacemaker in.
Whoa.
Remember, I shook my head no. And my sister's like, grab the letterboard. And so I just spelled out too young. He leaned over me. He said, this is now the third time this has happened. And it took us, this last time, it took us a half hour to get you back.
Oh my gosh.
You were dead for half an hour?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's like the shock, right? Of like going from normal, right? Like going to bed on Saturday night, waking up Sunday, and you're completely aware this entire time. I mean, you're awake on the vent. Like I've seen people on ventilators, usually near end of life. They're usually unconscious. They're not.
Yeah, it's like a coma sort of situation.
You have full awareness of everything.
Yep. Fully aware, totally had full capacity of understanding what was happening to me. Yeah,
Oh my
I was totally awake. The only way I could communicate once I was put on the ventilator was by a letter. Like they had like this little letter chart, and you just had to like go through. So like there was 3 lines, right? A through whatever, let's say M through whatever, and then, and you had to point to a letter and basically kind of make out the words and then try to make out a sentence of what I was trying to say. So it was extremely frustrating for me, for my family members, for the medical staff, just to try to figure out what I was going through. And then they said to me, honey, we have to ask you the hardest question we thought we'd ever have to ask you. Because I'm the baby of the family, right? What are your last wishes? If you should be left paralyzed and on a vent, is that how you want to live? And I just looked at my daughter and I just kind of like tilted my head like, what am I going to do? And I just shook my head no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do not want to be, that's no capacity of life. And I do not want to be a burden to my family. I don't want my family members or my grandchildren to remember me in that capacity. So I just shook my head no. And they were like, do you understand what we're saying? And tears just started coming down my eyes, out of my eyes and down my face. And I just shook my head, yeah. So yes, I completely understand what we're discussing here. And then I remember laying in bed and my oldest brother, Joe, comes walking through the door. And the first thought I had was, oh my God, I must be in really bad shape to get him on a plane, to get him here this quick. Because he travels for his job, so he's gone all the time.
Okay.
And it's very hard, right? So I mean, when we see my brother, it's like a scheduled vacation, right? He's coming in town or we're all going to meet somewhere. But it's always planned. And so when he walked through the door, I thought, oh my God, like Joe's here. This must be really bad. And that literally was like, oh my God, my brother's here. It's like I knew something was going on. I mean, it was peaceful because it was just laying there and just having these conversations with God. And it was so peaceful. And I just had accepted it. It's like, okay, I'm like, it's a bummer that you're kind of taking me this soon. I really would like to see my grandchildren grow up and see what their lives become and, and have more time with my family. If you call me home, you're calling me home. Fast forward 2 days later, my brothers tell me this. And I am telling you guys, my brain flipped in that instant. And I went into, my God, I have a chance at life. And if I want my life back, I have to fight like hell. And I mean, it was so instantaneous how my brain went from accepting death to go into fight mode immediately. And that's what I did.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on the Healthcare Uprising. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons before you go, and take a moment to think of a friend and hit that share button. You can find us on all the major audio platforms, and we've got video on YouTube if you want to watch us in action.
You can also find us on social media on LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. Just search Healthcare Uprising to find us. And if you're a new company with a cool new product, if you're someone innovating alternative methods for the health and wellness space, or if you have a personal healthcare journey you'd like to share with us here at The Uprising, please email us at healthcareuprising@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you about coming on the show. Well, that's all for this dose of Healthcare Uprising. Until the next time, keep looking for the good in the world, because sometimes it's where you least expect it.
We are not doctors and we don't play one on TV. If you need medical advice, consult with your physician or a healthcare professional. This has been a Shut Up production.